Hello, this is not a spring chicken. We so much appreciate having an absolutely gorgeous sunny day like this because there are too many, there are far and few between. Well, I guess, we'd love to go to the beach, but for now we're going to bring Oldecam on with comments on the headlines.
You know, days like this are the reason people move to California.
No. Yesterday we were in Latin and they were talking about the reason that people in the film industry comes because of all the sun. We've had 3 days a month of sun.
I know, but boy, do we appreciate them when they come.
Yeah.
It's like Obama's new attack on global poverty, telling them how he has helped those in the USA.
Yeah, they said it's the highest poverty rate in decades under this president. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And Obama asked churches to help him with Obamacare.
Yeah, I love that because they helped him get it passed, and he thinks that they can certainly help him convince people in their parish that basically it's the greatest thing that God ever gave the human race. Which they said he's delusional is what he is. He hasn't been able to get anybody convinced that it works, and yet he's still trying because the Democrats are refusing to run on his great accomplishment.
Obama to the Tea Party. Identify specifically, what would you do?
Well, they keep telling him what they do. First thing, they stop spending. I mean, he doesn't understand. He has no comprehension of what the word stop spending means. And then they'd stop this raising of taxes. I mean, you realize that there's so many god-awful taxes in his health care bill that the Republicans can't undo no matter what.
Oh,
they can't be undone until they get another president.
And
they said if you elect this man, they're already running the campaign. Obama started his election campaign now because he needs a second term to make certain the taxes are permanent no matter what. So they said it's screw everybody that didn't agree with him. Isn't that something?
Well, you know, when I first heard that one or read that one, it reminds me of when he was running for political office and he said, well, what are you going to do? Change.
Well, now the new Democratic Party motto is change that matters. All they did is they have destroyed the economy. They have destroyed jobs. They keep spending money. That's not change that matters. That's a disaster, and the whole world keeps telling him stop spending.
Tax and spending cuts top GOP campaign year pledge.
Well, they said
that's an easy one.
I know, but the campaign year pledges, they said that it's like that a whole bunch of people that were Washington insiders got together and did a thing saying that this is what the Republican Party on the right wants. It's not what anybody else wants. It's once again, it's what the right wants. I mean, they have no chance whatsoever. I mean, you put a whole bunch, you take the business suits off of them, put them in jeans and corduroy shirts, they still look like a bunch of stuffed heads, talking heads with their $500 hairdos.
And the Democrats put off any vote on taxes till after the fall election.
Yeah, the Republicans got this idea that when they come back then, because we'll have taken control of the House and a lot of seats in the Senate, the Democrats will have to deal. No, they're not going to deal, folks. They're doubling down on everything. Didn't they notice that they tried to put the gay in the military, the DREAM Act, and $180 billion in Obama funding into the thing? They're not going to give up. They're going to go on a vengeance tear. If you lose your seat, I mean, just look at the Republicans. The day they're getting, this Castle is going to run against the woman in, they said that, one of the commentators said the best thing that could happen to her campaign is the fact that Castle will run against her, showing that the Washington insiders simply refuse to leave no matter what.
And judge in Toyota suit says settlement likely.
Well, yeah, that's sort of. I always find it amazing that they're paying the people that got killed not to say there was any problems with the automobile, which means that's the same thing as saying that Toyota, that high patrolman has found they got killed in had a problem with it.
Oh, that's who they paid?
Yeah, they're paying them not to say anything.
Oh, that one was a really
like $40
big deal.
million to the surviving members of the family to shut your mouth.
Oh, that is a big chunk.
Yeah, but
that's a really big chunk.
But they said the very fact they're being paid to do that is the
Admits
same
that
thing.
they're guilty.
It's like when you plead, when you go to a court, you plead the Fifth Amendment. They know you got something to hide. So.
Hot dog and beans, Obama and the American dream.
Well, this is what he calls wealthy are having to eat now. Well, the Democrats have admitted that was an asinine statement by the president, that millionaires are people to make over $200,000 a year, and that billionaires are people to make over $500,000 a year. And they said that's why they think they can't add. So they're basically retooling their message on that and want to give. They're calling the middle class up to 500,000 now.
Families win under new health care provisions.
Not as far as, okay, if you call adding $3,000 upwards a year to your medical bills, that's not a win.
What's the win on
And then
that?
it said if you couldn't afford it before, you can't afford it now. But don't worry though, when it fully kicks in, it's all going to be taken care of because so many people will love what he's doing that they will have joined the program, and that will drive the cost down. In 2014, the cost will start to come down. Of course.
Yeah, but you don't have $3,000 a year to pay for each person in your household.
Well, he doesn't understand that. The Democrats don't get that. First of all, it's all about driving people to the single-payer program. They can't get the money to fund the thing they have now because they've already ran through $60 billion in funding to get it started, and they need another $180 billion, which they only counted on $5 billion to start, and it's going to be $240 billion in the first year.
And it's all over for the Republicans as Obama spread the message that the Republicans are responsible for all his problems.
You know, they tend to completely ignore the fact that the Democrats hold the presidency, they control the House, they control the Senate, and they control the judiciary, and they still can't get anything done, so...
I know, and it's so gorgeous out there that more people are coming out with the cameras.
Photographers are all coming out. Well, because that's my scene down there.
Isn't that a gorgeous scene?
You know, we're just hanging on that one for a while and moving back and forth, pan to the right, pan to the left.
And Japan to release a captain of Chinese boat involved in collision.
Yeah, they made your point, so. Chinese one again.
Okay. Do you want me to say it?
Yep.
Okay, Japan to release captain of Chinese boat involved in collision.
Well, it has absolutely nothing to do that China is basically calling in debt that the Japanese owe to them. So.
And Obama still insists he is America's most pro-business president.
The guy just raised taxes on all the people that deal with the insurance industry. He raised taxes on doctors, medical care suppliers. They said there's so many taxes in his proposal that damage business that it's unbelievable. He can't seem to understand it. That's not pro-business. He thinks that the more you tax them, the more people will have money to spend.
And federal help boosts vulnerable Democrats.
Well, yeah, all of the takeover things that they did are pumping money into Democratic campaigns, which is against federal laws.
Feds object to global injunction of don't ask, don't tell policy.
Well, yeah, they're basically, the Democrats are going to the World Court to order the United States to do it. And Obama is going to refuse to respond, which means they're going to let the World Court order the United States, which is once again putting him on the wrong side of the election.
If this were the 60s, there would be two words to describe those Republican males' opinions of young Republican women politicians.
I know, it's called oink oink.
Oink,
Talk
oink.
about male chauvinist piglets.
Americans scorn both Democrats and Republicans. Poll finds because they want higher taxes and less jobs, they will vote Democratic.
I know. Well, they said that Barbara Boxer has claimed a 6-point lead over her thing that I'm going to raise the taxes on the wealthy. I'm going to raise taxes on businesses. I'm going to attack. If you move your business out of the state of California because you can't afford our taxes, I'm going to raise taxes on you. And, you know, they love that message in California.
I know. Well, they're also doing it for the rest of the U.S. They're just moving it out of the country.
And that's right, because people are tired. We got successful companies that are moving their businesses out because they can't afford the Obama taxes. And the Democrats simply don't get it.
Struggling CNN fires John Klein, the head of its U.S. network, to go more liberal in its coverage.
I know. Isn't it amazing? They're going for. They figure the problem is they're not far enough to the left to compete with Fox News.
Are you serious?
I know. They lost all. They're losing their advertising base and everything because they're so far to the left.
Feinstein and Boxer introduced bill to bolster natural gas pipeline safety standards.
Well, yeah, like it's another election year thing because if it could be done, it would have been done because the company basically doesn't like to have blow-ups because it makes them look bad, and they're ran by it's a public utility, which means they get screwed if they have a problem.
New York town imposes strict restrictions on new cell phone towers.
Well, yeah, they don't want to join the 21st century. They want the cell phone tower. But cell phone towers are ugly, even though they provide communications for their fire and safety, but they don't care.
And a Monty Bubbleism for the Mark Twain of the animal kingdom.
He said, it must be sad to find out you're not as great as you have been told to by your yes men.